Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another 2-Minute Tuesday. A couple weeks ago, I released a series of videos that talked about calculated fields and working with date operations. And one of my customers actually reached out to me and said, I'm trying to find the right combination for the calculation I want to do, but I haven't really found it. I don't want to see the number of days because it's not very detailed. It's not really telling me how many days it is. I mean, it could have been 2.5 days or 2.4 days, or, even at 2.5, it will switch to 3. It's going to round up. And obviously my first reaction was, well, maybe if we make the field, instead of being a whole number field, maybe we can make it decimal. But decimal doesn't work either. It just shows 2.0. And you can try it if you want. It will show 2.0 on here, and then it will show 3.0. It doesn't go 2.1, 2.2, and so on. If that was the case, it would have been pretty easy. So then we thought about, well, maybe we use a different formula. Instead of different days, maybe we use different hours, but then that will give you, a number of hours, like 81 hours. And so it's kind of left up to you to, go back and recalculate how many 81 hours is in terms of days. So we're kind of stuck. We were sort of like, well, what do we do now? And what I decided to do is I came up with a simple trick that will actually show us the difference in days, but to a more accurate degree. So right now I have this right here, the open days so far. This is a whole number field. I'm going to add a new field, which will be a decimal field. But once again, if we just use the different days formula, it's not going to really help us out. In order for us to help us out, we have to add a little bit of sizzle, and that is today's tip. So let's start the countdown and let's go. So in here in tables, I'm going to navigate to the lead entity. So the easiest way to do it is just to type lead in here. And we're going to add a new column, which is a field basically. So this is open days so far, but I'm going to add decimal in here. I know that in real life I wouldn't add that word in there. I'm just adding it so we can, essentially compare side to side when we add them together. So in here, instead of whole number, obviously I'm going to pick a decimal number. So I'm going to scroll down here and select decimal number. You get to pick how many, decimal points you want and all of that, but I'm just going to leave it by default, which is 2 essentially. So here I'm going to say this is a calculated field, hit save, and then it's going to start basically saving the field and allowing me to modify it after the fact. Okay, so it says it's currently being calculated. We're gonna go ahead and search for it. So open day so far decimal, which is the one that we added. Open calculation, click done, and again it's gonna open in a separate window right here. So we're gonna do it just like we did it a few weeks ago. So for the condition, I'm gonna say if the status, scroll down to status equals open, then for the action, I'm gonna say diff in hours for this one. And we're gonna say if the created on comma now, just like we did again a couple of tips ago. But here is the kick, because again, if we do this, it's going to give us a number of hours, like I said, like 87 or whatever it is. So we don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to add /24. We're just going to divide by 24, and that's basically it. So we're going to click OK in here, save and close, and we're going to go back to our lead. Well, we have to add it to the form, rather. Sorry. Forms. Remove the filter. Lead. And we're going to add it right below the previous one so we can compare side by side. So back here, we're going to click on fields. We're going to switch to custom. Open days so far in decimal. We're going to drop it in there right below it. Perfect. Publish. And now that it's published, let's go into the lead and refresh. And there you have it. So now it's a lot more accurate in terms of how many days you have. So right now, obviously, these are really, really close together to 2, but this could have been 1.51, and the whole number would have reported 2, whereas here we can see that it's 1.51 and know that, okay, it's been about a day and a half, not 2 days. And again, this also happens when it's only a matter of hours. If you have something that was created 2 hours ago, the number is going to say 1. It's been a day since this lead was created, and that's not the case. It's been 2 hours. So I'd rather see 0 point whatever rather than seeing, a number that will be elevated. And that's what the customer requested for, and that's how we solved it. So I hope you enjoyed today's tip, and we'll see you next week.